Welcome to Alpha Wolf Trading. Did you know that there's over 12,000 stocks or companies that trade on the OTC? Between the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange, you have over 7,000 companies. But us as retail investors, we wouldn't know that unless we were researching. Because why? Wall Street focuses on the elite, the big companies. And where the retail investor has their advantage is in small and micro-cap stocks. Why? Because you have the opportunity to speak directly with leadership. That is what this is all about here at Alpha Wolf Trading. We're trying to find the hidden gems, and we interview the executive teams of companies that we think meet the parameters to be those hidden gems. I also want to make sure you understand that this is not a paid-for promotion. I collect no compensation for the interviews I do here. These companies that I interview have been identified as potential opportunities for me and the members of Alpha Wolf Trading to receive a higher than average return on our investment. These companies I have identified either because of a technical setup on a chart, a fundamental change within the organization, new management team, new products, all kinds of different things that actually lead me here. But what do I think is the most important? Leadership. And that is why I do these interviews. I want to understand what drives the person that is leading the charge. I want to feel their passion. I want to understand their vision and the strategy that they're going to use to achieve success. That is what these interviews are for. I want to understand the share structure and the cap table, the size of the TAM, the total addressable market. This is the opportunity to learn all of those things. So sit back and enjoy. And if you learn anything from today's interview, do us a favor. Subscribe to the Alpha Wolf Trading YouTube channel. Hey everybody, Tim from Alpha Wolf Trading coming at you with a follow-up interview. Chuck, it seems like I just had you here not too long ago. And that's probably because I did just have you here not too long ago. But it's such an exciting story. I had to come back and because we've seen more train derailments and more artificial intelligence news and things like that. You're kind of right there in the center of it all. So I thought it would be a good idea. You just reported your earnings that looked quite strong, and you didn't guide down. So I have to think things are still looking pretty good over here, right?
Yeah, we're still holding to our guides right now. I think we have again, I'm going into my third year here. Business has turned around quite nicely. Our technology is just a lot more reliable, and that's now paying off for us. And our focus on making our current customers happy is also paying off for us right now. So these are all the right things to do to make a business, and we're ready to scale. And to your point in our earlier discussion, two things have really come to the forefront here for us this year, and that is the Railway Safety Act, which is making its way through Congress. A large portion of that act includes wayside detection technology, which that's what Duos Tech does. We're a machine vision or camera wayside detection system, which is important to understand. There's acoustic systems, there's heat systems. We're a machine vision and camera system. Probably one of the newer types of systems that are out there. Recently, we've briefed more than 20 legislators on Capitol Hill. They've seen our technology, and as a result of that, there's language in the bill in both the Senate side and the House side that is inclusive of our technology in the wayside detection area. So we're hopeful that the FRA will receive some sort of a mandate to put a little more, I'll say, rules and standardization around the use of that technology, which a lot of us in the industry think can make operating the rails much safer. And that could be very very helpful here for the company, and we're ready for it. Secondarily, artificial intelligence continues to get more and more, I would say, discussion in the press and a lot of interest. The type of AI that we do is we're basically specializing in analyzing moving objects, primarily using pattern recognition technologies. We are actually partnered with NVIDIA and Dell Technologies, where we kind of use their platform, but we apply our own intellectual property to it, and so it makes it very unique. We're the only company right now that self-performs all aspects of AI in-house inside the company, and I kind of mentioned that on my video. Why is that important? Because in order to have good AI, there's kind of this, symbiotic relationship between the hardware that it rides on, the IT infrastructure that transports it, the software that kind of makes it all work, and that combined with the artificial intelligence. All four of those things have to work in perfect tandem with each other to produce super high quality and reliable artificial intelligence, which and that's what we're doing. If you go out and you get a pure play third-party AI provider that doesn't, really understand your hardware, your software, when they can't do good AI for you, they just blame it on your hardware, software, and vice versa. So we've learned this the real hard way, and that's why we do all that in-house right now, and it's really paying off for us big. Our AI portfolio is now going above 40 individual FRA mandated inspection points, and we're actually getting faster and better at it. All of those things are very, very focused on identifying things that can derail trains, and cause major accidents. And we've got a lot of use cases where that AI that's been deployed has prevented derailments and prevented accidents. So this is an exciting time to be here in the company, and I think we're ready, to scale up.
So you guys are incorporating also edge computing, right? It's not just artificial intelligence, but edge is a big component of that as well.
That's correct. So our cameras and camera systems and the sensors and speed sensors that go with it captures so much data at such a rapid pace because the objects are moving, the trains are moving so quickly. You have to acquire it, analyze it, and then package it at the edge before you can actually send it through the cloud. So a user can use it. We recently just finished an experiment using Dell and NVIDIA equipment. Again, where our guys, through our proprietary software and some other things that they do, we're able to process, I think it was like 85 gigabytes per second, and literally process a train moving at 125 miles an hour. And in a simulation, and by the time the train had passed in the simulation, within 1 minute, they were able to present an entire full inspection of the train, just with an incredible amount of speed. So actually, Dell Computers is holding a competition apparently internal to their own company, with different teams. One of the teams is a team that's actually providing computing power to the Mars landing program, in the space industry. And there's some others that are doing some pretty high speed stuff. Our system is the second fastest, right behind the Mars landing system, and that's coming from Dell. Dell told us that they actually came. They came and they reviewed the results of the tests that we did, and they're actually getting ready to kind of tee it up in some of their marketing. So we have some very, very smart and very, very talented technical folks on our team, and I'm real proud of them.
It's fantastic. So the Safety Act, I've got up here on my screen the video that you did is about about a 10-minute video, and that was that was actually being presented to who?
Yes, that was at a railway age conference inside the rail industry. Railway age is kind of one of the real big producers of I would say, conferences and things like that. There were a number of CEOs and chief operating officers that presented at that conference, and it's pretty widely watched across the industry. So that was kind of a big opportunity for us. Faye set that up for us, and I was proud to be able to present.
Well, it was done extremely well, and anybody that hasn't seen the video should go. It's up on your site. It's on your site, right? If you go to investor relations.
Yeah, it's on our website. duostech.com. It'll take you right to it. And again, it's a short 10 minutes, but it kind of shows you really what we do. Lots of good pictures and video clips of real world.
But the one clip, and I just want to highlight it, was you identified a bearing that was going on a wheel, and let the company know, and we won't name the company, but you let the company know that, hey, you got a bearing that's going bad on this wheel 20 minutes before it actually went bad and then derailed, right?
That's right. And you got to kind of put that in perspective. So, we've got a lot of railroad subject matter experts here in the company. So a wheel bearing can actually heat up in a matter of just a few minutes. So a lot of times they'll put hot bearing detectors or hot box detectors, and they'll have them, let's say, every 10, 15, 20 miles. And so what will happen is, the train's going at speed, and so it'll read a temperature at a mile marker, and the temperature will be fine or below the threshold that the railroad set on it. By the time it gets to the next hot box detector, it's already burning, and it's already, practically, it can literally come off and destroy itself before it gets to the next hot box detector. We went back after examining, some of the recent derailments where wheel bearings were the fault, and we determined that our system could actually see 3 or 4 of the root causes of what makes a wheel bearing start to fail long before it becomes a failure. This is a recent development, so we kind of focused our inspection teams and our AI team on that. And we can start, and so we can identify that, and we determine that we can send an automatic message to the locomotive operator immediately. At least we have that capability. We haven't been asked or contracted to do that yet, but it's a capability that we have, and I expect that we'll be probably putting that out in the field here in a couple of months to come.
All right, so earnings were good, and guidance seemed like everything is on track, no pun intended. Yeah, Chuck.
Yeah, we're our guidance is 20 to 21 million. We're still on track with that. A lot of folks that look at us, again, I always tell folks, try not to look at us on a quarter-to-quarter basis. We're obviously working very, very hard to hit the quarterly marks that some of the analysts have kind of put out there for us. And we're either at or very close to those marks on a quarter-to-quarter basis, but you should be looking at us for the long term, not on a quarterly basis. Right now, I feel comfortable that we're going to meet our plan this year. Most importantly, I think we've got some really, really strong commercial activity going on right now that I think later this year we'll be able to talk about how we will be diversifying our customer base for sure. And some of it will be CapEx sales, but a lot more of it is now going to be those subscriptions that we talked about in some of our previous sessions. So that's where, but like a lot of years, it's going to be a hockey stick this year. So we did it last year, and we came just about close to our guidance. So we feel pretty good about it this year.
Well, I can tell you that the chart, I hate to take that good looking picture down, but I want to show everybody the chart, which is looking fantastic. And actually it started this, if you think about where the market overall has been for the last 24 months, it has not been a fun ride, but back in January, things started to get interesting with Duos, and it broke this long-term trend line to the upside. And it came back down. It got near to testing that area, but then bounced right off of it. and headed right back up to where it is. And this is the kind of action that you want to see. Now, if you look at what's happening fundamentally with the company, you look at the derailments that have occurred, you look at the fact that AI is probably one of the hottest hot buttons out in the market today. You kind of fit in the sweet spot of everything, right? And you and I just spoke about the fact that, yes, you are focused on railroad at this particular point in time. However, this is all about being able to do this type of I guess, observation detection with any moving object, right? I mean, that's essentially what it comes down to. So when you think about the opportunity that sits in front of Duos, it's massive. And in my head, we've talked about this before, there's wants and there's needs. There are things that will be nice to have, but then there are things that we need to have. And anytime it involves saving a life, I think that's something that we need. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is something we need, right? And this is a prime example of something that can save lives, right?
Yeah, it can and it has prevented derailments here. And we're able to keep track of that a lot more in detail right now. So, look, the Railway Safety Act, which includes wayside detection systems, there is a clamor to get a little bit better in the overall rail industry, and I think there's interest across all stakeholders to respond right now. The last time the rail industry was legislated was back in 2008 when they implemented or mandated positive train control. And I think we're at an inflection point right now where we're going to see some mandates that will cause all of us in the rail industry to get better.
Okay, so real quick, just to give everybody a snapshot of the company overall, how many shares fully diluted outstanding?
I think we're about 9 million right now, Faye.
Fully diluted.
Fully diluted, we're about 9 million. Yeah.
Yeah. So 9 million. Think about that for a second. 9 million. That is nothing. That is a very, very small amount of shares outstanding for a company that is looking at. Do you have any idea? Do you have any kind of TAM on total addressable market for this opportunity?
Yeah, I think in terms of inspection portals and customers, we've always talked about you can cover the North American network with around 150 railcar inspection portals. But now that we've kind of introduced this subscription model, we've kind of gone from where there's 6 or 7, class 1 railroads that will consume that to now you've got, at least 300 to 400 owners of cars, lessor of cars, commodity operators. We're in discussion with a lot of those right now, and there's significant interest in data that they've just never had access to before. So,
right. So it's kind of tough to put a TAM on this because there isn't really anybody else out there doing it, right? That could do this kind of thing. And 300 to 400 railcar owners, right? That's significantly bigger than the TAM you were looking at when it was just the railroads, right?
It is, and also, we've kind of modeled out, a business plan for the next 2 to 3 years. And look, if we're able to follow that, let's say you get at least 40 or 50 portals out there, and they're loaded up, with subscriptions. I mean, you got a business that's pushing, well north of $100 million a year. And because most of that now is recurring, annual revenue, the gross margins in the model are showing, 70 to 80%. The business is cash flow positive by a long shot. And it's able to, we're able to reinvest using our own cash flow. We're a proper business that can now add other lines of business, such as truck inspection portals, aircraft inspection portals, and things like that.
All right, Chuck, just real quick so that, people understand. If you find the right financing deal, if it makes sense, you're going to do a financing because, and it makes sense to do if it's the right deal. You are not in a position where you have to do a financing deal to keep the lights on, right?
That is a correct statement. So, obviously to grow and accelerate that growth, that acceleration could be caused by the passage of a Railway Safety Act. It could be caused, in a good way by other things that requires capital. The good news is in years past, unfortunately, we, like many companies of our size, have had to just take deals with what we could get. We are not in that position right now. So if and when we do raise capital, I expect to do it, in a very thoughtful, and I would say respectable way, if that's a proper term to use, where we're not just taking money just because we have to have it. It's going to be a good deal for us. It'll be thoughtful and respectful to our current shareholders, and I think it'll be accretive, to the overall health of the business.
Okay. What do you see as potentially the next catalyst, Chuck? I mean, when should I be looking to knock on your door and have you back again?
Yeah, I think probably after the August filings is probably makes sense. I think there's some key activities that I think are going to be completed by then that are some pretty big needle movers. So I think that'd be probably a good time. Okay,
perfect. Chuck, thank you so much. Chuck Ferry from Duos Technologies, ticker symbol DUOT. Put it on your radar, folks. I mean, I've only been talking about it for, 2 years now. But things are really starting to shape up. So put this bad boy on your watch list. And Chuck, I look forward to having you back soon. Keep doing what you're doing, man. You're killing it.
Thanks, I appreciate it. It's always good to talk with you. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to another interview here at Alpha Wolf Trading. Today we had Chuck Ferry from Duos Technologies, ticker symbol DUOT. If you like today's interview, do us a favor. Give us a like. How about giving us a share? And while you're at it, why not give us a follow? Until next time, stay safe. Alpha Wolf Trading wishes you the very best of success.